Woo, 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 woo. I like being weird. So, what we have here is the Jonsered 630 that came from Eric Diamond. I often call him Steve Diamond because I guess his name is Steve as well. But Eric is what he usually goes by, I believe. Thank you, Eric, for sending this. This is going to be rad. So, I've torn it all down. And I've never separated the cases on a 2 series saw. As a matter of fact, I've never separated the cases on any saw aside from Poland's. And they tend to pop apart pretty darn easy. But these right here, I think that the crank bearings, I guess you would call it pressed fit onto the crank. And they're definitely pressed fit into the cases. So a double press means that it's going to be hard for it to come apart. The Poland's are only press fit, the ones that I've worked on, are only press fit into the case. Since they're only press fit into the case, the crank will slip right out. It's no big deal. Easy to work on. So, there are many different ways to go about this. Heat and blah, blah, blah. Here's what I'm going to try and do. You take the nut that goes onto the flywheel side of the crankcase. You put it on there, because if you don't have that nut on there and you go whacking away with a hammer at it, you're going to mushroom those flywheel threads. I'm going to hold this side of the case and I'm going to whack it. I see it. It's starting to work. It's starting to work. This side right here is opening up, this seam. All right. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, it's coming apart. Now, this is not a scenario in which you would want to use a rubber hammer. Because if you use a rubber hammer, you're not getting direct explosive impact, and you'll have to hit it a lot harder. Look how little this hammer is, you know. So bink. All right, the reason I'm doing this, taking it apart like this, is because I won't say that it needs, I will not say that it needs new bearings, but I have new bearings, and the bearing on the PTO side, which is typical, it's typical for the bearing on the PTO side to go bad, but that bearing is just a tiny bit of give, and there shouldn't be any. Normal situations, I would just put this thing together, put new seals in it, and it'd be fine. That's what I think. However, this is not normal situations. This is a Jonsered, baby, and it deserves the best. Woo! And also, it is actually going to be built into a saw that is going to be producing significantly more power than it had from the factory. So, let's go ahead and take every step and make every step count, and not build a saw that's going to just all of a sudden turn around and the bearing go bad after a short while. So we're going to go ahead and set it up right. Now, this is my first time in one of these crankcases, guys. So please help me out here. What is this tube? Is that just a vent tube? Is that all that is? Oh no, that's the tube that, yeah, that's not doing anything. That's not going into your oiler channel. So is that just a vent tube? Do I just ultimately leave that there? let me know. Because as it was all awkward. It still is kind of awkward. All right, now how do we get the crank out of this side? Yeah, I'm glad I'm doing this. Because now that I don't have the support of this side, I can see that that bearing was worse off than what I had thought. Yeah. Can you guys make that out? Yeah. Okay. Anyways. Now to get this side out, I can simply go over there to the press and press the crank out. Or, I don't know. Let's try and beat it out too. It's pretty easy. I can hear you guys now through the screen going, "Don't do it, Bodie. You'll ruin the clutch. Don't do it. No." Well, I'm going to do it. Come on. It is moving. It is. Okay, I can see it. Damn, there we go. Woo! All right. Clutch is still fine. And bada bing, bada boom, I've removed the crank from a Jonsered 630 / Husky 2 series. Yeah, we're good there. Ooh. Crank's a little bit worn. A little bit worn. I think it'll be fine. What do you think? As if you can see. I think it probably got hot on this side. Probably from somebody tightening up the chain too much. But that's why the PTO side, the clutch side, it's more typical for your crank bearings on that side to go bad. It's because that's where all the load is put on. You got people that'll tighten the chain too much and that's pushing on it. Plus, that's where all your power takeoff is. So that's putting all the load, more load on this side. So yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so next video will be after I clean this up and we reassemble it. But see ya.